Hi, it's time for Good Energy, and I'm Dr. Julie. And today we are talking about the healing equation. So, what I have been doing every day is I have been giving you a bodyful session every day, but normally when there aren't need for energy, extra energy in, Thursdays are meant for stressors, hidden stressors. So today we're talking about the healing equation, and we're talking about where we find hidden stressors in our life. And for those of you who don't know, the healing equation is something that I stumbled into. It is the idea that energy to heal, energy to do whatever you need to do in your life is equal to good energy in minus your stressors. The more stressors you have, the less energy to heal you have, the more good energy in you have, the more energy to heal you have. You can manipulate either side of the equation. And normally in Endeavor Health and Chiropractic, I spend Wednesdays giving you Good Vibes Wednesdays, so giving you some good energy in. And on Thursdays, we talk about hidden stressors. So today I want to talk about how a mouse, a widow, and molasses go together to create to explain a hidden stressor. I have been telling people a lot the past 2 weeks that I've felt like I have been moving through molasses. I am slower than I normally am. I am not quite sure what the next move is I should make. And I had a girlfriend a colleague who sent a message out to her group that said, you know what, this being in social isolation, this being in seclusion is a lot like becoming a widow. She was widowed, and every day just seemed like it shouldn't have happened. Every day felt different. Every day felt off. But eventually you find your rhythm, you find your role, you get through it, but it does feel like you're walking through a veil or walking through molasses to get there. Now, what does this have to do with a mouse? Well, this feeling is not unique to humans. We've been having it for a long period of time. Robert Burns, a Scottish poet from 1795 to 1796, 1759, not 95, was born in 1759 and died in 1796, wrote about this sensation very clearly in his poem To a Mouse. In the poem, he explains that he had been out plowing his field and he had run over a mouse's house. And it is a lament to the mouse about the fact that the mouse's house is no longer there. Something that was supposed to be there wasn't. Now, I highly recommend that you find a video of it on YouTube of somebody who actually speaks Scottish and have them speaks with a Scottish accent, have them read the actual poem, because I am not going to do it justice. I'm going to read you the last two stanzas because they speak to this molasses, this widowhood that we are all going through right now. So he writes, "But mousie, thou art know thy lane, improving foresight it may be vain. The best laid schemes of mice and men gang after glee, and lee us not but grief and pain for promised joy. Still thou art blessed compared with me, the present only toucheth thee. But I backward cast my eye on prospects drear, and forward though I cannot see, I guess and fear." So he says, you know, mouse, I am really sorry that I ran over your house, and that the best laid plans of mice and men often go awry and leave us in grief and pain, because the world that we planned on having does not match the world that we are actually in. And when those two don't happen, we have a veil, we have a sense of molasses, we have a sense of grief. And that grief for promised joy is really what we're taking into this time right now. That grief for connection, that grief for being productive, that grief for income that we were supposed to have, that grief for vacations that we were supposed to take that are canceled, are really slowing us down. We are mourning what could have been. And Robert Burns goes on to say, "And forward though I cannot see, I guess and fear." And that is the other thing that's keeping us through this molasses, that's keeping us in this tired time, this time of a veil, like we can't get through it, is that we are guessing what our future can be, and we're guessing through fear. And that fear and that mourning is a stressor on our body, and it's reducing our energy to heal. It's reducing our energy to get things done, which is why we feel like we're moving through molasses every day. So I want you to take this time to understand that you can mourn what was supposed to be. You can cry for the fact that you're stuck at home and that there were plans that you should have had. You can mourn those. That is healthy. And in fact, in mourning them, it allows us to kind of get rid of that stressor that's hiding in our body and move on. Now, Robert Burns says that he looks towards the future and in guess and fear. That also is a stressor. And a lot of us are guessing and fearing what will happen in the future. But we have to try to get away from the guessing. We have to try to look towards the future with positivity. We have to try to feel with the end in mind. What is it going to feel like when we are finally able to get out and contact each other and know that we're not going to give them an infection? Know that we're not going to give them an infection that they might not get sick with, but they could pass it on to their loved ones. Think about that future when you can go out and hug, and you can go out and have a wonderful vacation, and you can go out and do all of these amazing things. That way you are not stuck in fear, which again, that's why we're doing Bodyful, because we don't want the fear to be pulling us down. But the hidden stressor that we're dealing with right now is grief. And it's very tangible. It's very, you can feel it. You're moving through molasses. You're moving through each day going, this is not what I had planned. This is not what I had intended. And so it's okay to grieve. It's okay to take a few minutes or a half a day and just sit with your cup of coffee and sit on the couch and go, you know what, this is not where I intended to be. But then you need to look for the future, and instead of looking in fear, look for promise. All right, I hope this has helped you. It has helped me. I have felt like I've been moving through molasses. And I need to mourn the fact that there were plans that I had intended that aren't going to come true. But I'm going to look forward with promise and with hope that the future is going to hold what I need in order to get things done. Take care. I'll see you later on in the afternoon with your Bodyful session. And if you have, think ahead of time, get a cup of something coming, because we're going to do the sense of taste. Take care. Bye.